It's dangerous to go alone. Take this.
And welcome to the realm of geekdom. This is Nerd Breaking News. Today, we're going to dive into the latest phenomenon taking the basketball world by storm, Victor Wembanyama. But first, make sure you go ahead and like, subscribe, and hit that bell before so you don't miss any of our episodes. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Let's go with the Eagle, our NBA expert. What do you think about Wemby being the new face of the NBA? Do you believe it? Do you agree with it? What's your take?
It's pretty interesting how this team came about and how Wemby has become the force to be reckoned with in the West, right? They finally won the Western Conference. They're the champions. They knocked out OKC, even though they were missing Jalen Williams. But they're here and they're going to the NBA Finals. Um, is Wemby the new face of the NBA? I think he is. And it's not because they knocked out OKC. I think it's more than that. I think the media, the NBA, Adam Silver, and the NBA machine has been prepping us for this, right? It's no coincidence. I mean, that he won the Defensive Player of the Year. He did win it by his own merits. We have to admit that. There was barely no competition between him and maybe this player from Minnesota who has won it like 5 different times already, Rudy Gobert. He finally got a group of guys next to him that were, decent enough, and they're putting on a great show. The Spurs, right? Let's talk about the organization, right? The storied organization with a past of great centers and power forwards, David Robinson, Duncan, the list goes on. NBA champions, right? We're talking about the Spurs had their own dynasty, if you will, or maybe they were breaking dynasties. We can make an argument about it. So everything around Wembanyama screams that he's the face of the NBA. However, I would say, in my opinion, that we need to stop it right now. I think that being the face of the NBA has to carry some weight, and that would include winning a championship. And that's why last year the conversation with SGA and the OKC Thunder was, well, they're here, they're destroying teams in the regular season, they already have a ring, and SGA was being pushed by the NBA, right? Like, at least you need to have the hard work to be called the face of the NBA. So far, Wemby has a Western Conference Finals MVP. They won the West. He has the Defensive Player of the Year. If I'm not mistaken, I think he was also All NBA first team. So little by little, if you think about it, the case is being made for him. However, in my eyes, there's one thing that he needs, and it's the NBA Finals. It is the ring. That's all he needs. Now, in terms of the quality of the player, I think he has all the quality in the world. Some will argue, like the kid, that are averaging 25 points a game is not good enough to be the face of the NBA. He will tell you that other players in NBA history, being the face of the NBA, average more points. You have to understand, kid, that we're talking about that it's doing it both on offense and defense. Okay, we talked about this before. Yes, I have to call you out from the start because this is how we're gonna do it. Okay. Jeez. Wemby is the defense in San Antonio, and that defense was what brought them the win against the OKC. And obviously, their amazing record during the regular season of 62 wins. Okay? So, Wemby's doing it both on offense and defense, averaging 25 points again. Hey, that's no scrub. That's actually a really good player. And this is only his third year in the NBA. Okay? The first 2 years, he couldn't play. He was getting his body used to it, to actually playing a full regular season, even though he didn't do it this time. But he probably will. And I will leave you with this. I think that Wembanyama, in terms of being in his final form, I think there's a lot that he needs to get better at, and I think he will. Again, this is only his third year. So is Wemby the face of the NBA? Not yet. but he's on his way.
I kind of agree with you, Eagle. I think that he's heading towards that trajectory, and we're starting to see how he needs that ring for us to actually start saying he's going to be the one, right? He needs that ring because everything else he has it. We're talking about if he wins it at 22. We're talking about 5 years before LeBron did it at 27, 6 years before Jordan did it. We're talking about what he's doing during his summertime, right? He's working with people like Hakeem Olajuwon for the footwork, working with Kevin Garnett on learning how to manage the just the relationships around and getting that competitive intensity that you see in the game now from him that you don't see in the last couple of years. And of course, like him going to the monastery, working and training his body and mind, like all of that is great. He's doing the work, but he needs that ring in order for him to become the face of the NBA. Kid, you look like you don't agree with anything I'm saying.
No, I think you're cooking. I just think the last part killed me because there was an ESPN article that apparently Wemby walked he did suicides on the Great Wall of China. That's what the article will have you believe. I'm not disputing what you're saying.
I don't know.
The over exaggeration of Wemby is insane. Is he the face of the NBA? Clearly not, man. We don't listen. The NBA finals begin tomorrow. The report earlier in the day came out. It is the highest rated NBA in the last playoffs in the last 20 something years. We've all been watching it. We didn't give a damn about OKC and Pacers last year. We're like, okay, I hope Halliburton wins anyways. And then SGA got his title. Here it's different. The difference between this guy, and you said it perfectly, TK, to your credit, and Eagle, you said to your credit. He has a chance at 22 years old to do something. But the problem is it's all this if stuff. The Knicks are no joke. The Knicks are defensively no joke. The Knicks are offensively no joke. Let me remind you, they won 11 straight games in the playoffs. Have they played as a team like the Spurs? No. That's a way better monster than they faced in the Eastern Conference. We'll have another video about the finals. But what I'm saying is for now, for Wemby, is he the face? No. And the reason why he's not the face is because you guys said it perfectly. He needs a ring. If he loses in 10 days, 12 days from now, this is irrelevant. You know what we're saying about Wemby? Man, he is today's bootlegged Bill Russell. Can't score, but great defense. He's not Will Chamberlain.
Dang.
But you could also say it in a positive
I don't know about that. He's still young. I think he's still young. Like he still has plenty of opportunities, and his team that he has in San Antonio is also a young core. Like even if they kind of have a misstep and don't win the championship this year, it doesn't mean that they can't show up next year to win it. Factually, and it doesn't mean that this won't start like some kind of dynasty down the road for him.
Factually, you're right, but two things you're not factoring in. When Wembanyama looks like he's one left turn away from an ACL. His body, a guy that big historically in basketball, doesn't last more than 10 years. So what's the prime of Wembanyama we're talking about? Is it 6 years? Cool. Is it 5 years? Cool. But it's not 10 years. This is not going to last 10 years. And by the way, the Spurs are young. 100%. Castle, Fox, Harper, those monsters. The West is loaded. It's not guaranteed that Wemby's going to do this every single year. So for us to say if he loses now, we don't know. Same thing said about Chet. Same thing said about Yoke. All these people. If history has taught us anything, with the exception of GSW, there hasn't been repeat dudes. And the reason why there hasn't been repeat dudes is because it's harder and harder and harder to get people. And now with Giannis possibly getting traded, where are these other people going to get traded? It's a lot of moving pieces July 1st in the NBA free agent, which we will cover. It's not guaranteed. And the last thing before I let the professor eat or cook, the problem is with Wemby as well, is that we can see it with our eyes that he's one of the best defensive players in history of basketball. We all could agree with that, right? Offensively, much to be desired. He should be a hell of a lot better, more offensive player than what he is, and he's not.
The kid and I have argued for so long that we have adopted each other's talking points. It's hilarious. I feel like I'm listening to myself here, but I'm going to add a little bit more. So something to consider is how much do we all know about the Spurs roster? Like how much do you hear about the people who play on the Spurs? Not much, right?
Yeah.
Nothing. Those people get no credit for the hard work they do. When you're looking at the team defense that they play, he's not the only defender on his team. He's the best, but that Champagne guy's pretty good. He's got a pretty high plus minus. Devon Castle's pretty good at defense too. While he's defending in the paint, they're defending on the perimeter, and they're doing a pretty good job at it too, all throughout the season. So when you're looking at the team's success on defense, it's not just him. A lot of what you're seeing regarding his team's success has to do with the roster, because offensively, that's not him getting those points. Those are his teammates. And a point to consider is, as his career takes off, the same time that he'll be depreciating, you'll also see Stephon Castle go into his own and Dylan Harper go into his own too. At a certain point, believe it or not, the Spurs will actually end up being Dylan Harper's team. That's not a hot take. It's just like, literally, if you look at Dylan Harper play and you look carefully, he's about maybe 3 to 4 years away from being that dude. So this Wembanyama as like the main thing for the Spurs, it's not going to be all that long. At a certain point, he's going to have to share the spotlight. That's just how it's going to go. On top of it too, when you're looking at his game improving, I actually don't think it will improve all that much, because he's already relatively complete in terms of skill set. The issue with him has to do with tactics, because at the end of the day, the downside to being a guy who's 7 foot everything is that you're going to get tired because moving these long limbs around all game. If you're watching his play style, what he's doing, and everyone out there, they're going to be like, oh, he's right. He's hitting all his 3-point shots early in the game. He's getting tired. Then he's scoring under the basket for the remainder of the games, because towards the end of the games, you cannot trust his 3-point shot. That's what's happening with this game. I don't even play basketball. My knees don't like basketball. And even I saw it. So if I saw it, I know other teams can see it. The issue is they currently don't have the personnel to do anything about it. Because when you're looking at talent in the NBA, and I've been saying this forever, the talent is clustered on certain teams. There are some teams that have 3 or 4 centers and some teams that have none. So what ends up happening is you're going to see him go out there and completely wipe out the teams that have no center. But if you have a team that has 2 decent bigs, he gets neutralized pretty easily. Let's be clear on something. The OKC Thunder did a masterclass on neutralizing Wembanyama. The so-called face of the NBA was getting neutralized by Alex Caruso many times for many games. Alex Caruso has no business at 6'5" being able to lock up this guy who's 7 foot something. And what I want everyone to understand is that will probably not change. As more people figure out how to guard him, you're not going to see him pull some kind of abracadabra move out and all of a sudden be able to be a more efficient player than he already is. Let's go back to Shai, and let's be clear about one thing. And I don't even like Shai Gilgeous as a player. I don't like what he does, but things are what they are. The kids love him. He's essentially their Kobe because they didn't grow up with Kobe. He's the next best thing for them. And on top of it too, to get a ring, you're going to have to go through him. That's how it was last year. That's how it is this year. And that's how it'll probably be next year too. Here's why. This summer, what's everyone going to be talking about in terms of trades? What's the big question going to be over this summer?
Giannis,
yes. Okay, you're right. Giannis will be the first question. The second question will be, what is OKC going to do? Even if Wembanyama gets a ring, people are going to circle all the way back and ask themselves, what's Shai going to do? Then the beginning of next year, you know what they're going to say? They're not going to say, hey, what's Wembanyama going to do in the beginning of the season? They're going to say, hey, how are Shai and OKC going to find a way to stop Wembanyama next year? Every narrative in the past, present, and the future is going to be about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander for at least a little while. It is what it is. I don't like it, but it is what it is.
No, you make a great point, honestly, Professor, because, kid, Your own child, bro. He's an SGA guy. He watches a game. He's just started watching basketball, and he's already, going to the game. He's imitating him, and he's about to start the camp and everything. I'm pretty sure he's going to learn how to flop really quick to emulate that game. So you're 100% right.
NBA too. He's got the best celly. Period. That little rocket machine gun thing he does. That's cool. I can't lie.
So I think we're all like under the same consensus that he is not the face of the NBA. I know there's a lot of talk about it right now, but let's be real, he really isn't. Let him win his first ring, and maybe we could start talking about it. But Professor made a great point. The kid made a great point. Eagle made a great point. Like, you still need to win the ring. You still have the West that's very competitive. And of course, like, you have to go through SGA and the Thunder. Any final comments before we end this video?
Yes. When I said that this is not Wemby's, man, Professor, it feels weird that because you basically made it seem like Wemby's just going to stick being the player that he is today, and he's going to stick to the threes. That's not going to happen, man. Like, Wemby has to go through a process where he's going to have to gain more mass. Like, yes, it happened with Yao Ming when he came into the NBA. Rudy Gobert, the same thing. These players are destined to get more weight, one way or another. It might not be in the form of, I don't know, Andrew Bogut, who literally looked like a truck running down, right? But it would be more, in order for him to go down low, he needs to have more mass to bump down low, right? We know that. Even with his size, right? So there has to be an equilibrium between letting him continue to be athletic while also getting a little bit of mass so he can, still be athletic and bump and do his thing. I also, before you continue, one thing. I also think that this, as good as the run has been for the Spurs, they're getting lucky, right? They're getting lucky that their young players are performing at a high level, that other teams have injuries, right? Specifically OKC, right? And we don't know what's going to happen in the NBA Finals. For all we know, they might get destroyed by the Knicks in 4 games, and now we're going back to what is it? 0.0, when we're basically I guess the Spurs were not that good, and they need to get better. I said this before when I was talking to the kid about the Spurs roster. They need to get better. They need to get better. It is not about the Castle and Harper. They're good. They're going to continue to develop. But Wemby needs to develop a little bit more, gain more mass. Listen, his shooting is fine from 3. He needs to learn how to do it down low. Okay? And then the other thing is, they need to get better players. De'Aaron Fox is not the answer at point guard. De'Aaron Fox is a ghost on that starting 5. He has done nothing for the Spurs in the playoffs. And I'm not saying this because I'm a disgruntled Kings fan. It's not because of that. Okay? I saw the games, and he is literally a ghost. Okay? Maybe he scores in crunch time 1 bucket. Maybe he scored 3. It was important in game 7. That was it. Okay? That was it. They need to get better. His contract is going to be humongous. They're going to pay Wemby at the end of the right now, because he's up to for a rookie extension that is going to be massive, the biggest one ever. Okay, they can't afford to pay Fox. They're going to have to do something about it. Go ahead.
The number one killer of people who are 7 foot is essentially heart attacks. Your body is not meant to be that big. When you're seeing how he moves, consider how fatigued he gets at his age. Is he even 22 yet?
Yeah,
he's 22.
How old is he? Is he 22 or 23?
He's 22.
He should never be tired. When you think about what his actual role is on the court, and like how much he actually has to move in order to execute, he should never be tired. The only reason why he's tired is because he's so big. So now the thing is, if we're talking about him adding more mass, you're talking about him putting 10 to 15 more pounds on a body that a 22-year-old is already getting gassed when he moves in. So if you add any more weight to him, he's only going to be more tired because he's only going to get older. His cardio is not going to get better over time. He's already at elite cardio because he's been an elite athlete for a long time. So when you're looking at it, if he's tired with what he's doing in his current body, going back to the kid's point, that's him revealing how many miles he has left. Yep. And it's not that many miles. To your point, he's going to gain weight just with age. What I'm saying is when he gains that weight, he'll be out of the league. He'll be done.
You got to remember that the more weight you put in, the more energy you're going to have to take to be able to move that mass.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to play a big role. And though he could make changes to his game style, we already said it. His style is already kind of set up. We already know how he plays. Mm-hmm. So adding these extra pounds looks like a positive, but in reality, it might end up slowing him down even more and actually being detrimental.
It's not just basically drinking protein shakes for the summer and just basically adding 15 pounds. Come on, guys. Like, we saw the BS article about him going to China and doing the yoga thing and whatnot. It's gonna be, if you guys think that this is just a normal, personal training getting in Wemby's body, we're all mistaken. There is companies that will have guys do blood tests and everything on this guy just to measure the exact amount of weight and equilibrium to make him. I'm telling you, this is not going to be, the 18-year-old going to the YMCA and drinking a milkshake just to get 15 pounds. But I see it.
You're looking at it.
I see it.
You're looking at it. This is the end result of it right there.
No, he will be.
Look at those back muscles. Look at the little back muscles right there. Little back muscles. Look at him. Look at him.
To give the Eagle credit though, like Wemby does go into the summer with a game plan to improve himself or his game, and potentially that could be something that he could overcome. And maybe we're being blind about it, and Eagle is seeing something we're not seeing. But he does show that he's always looking to progressively improve himself.
Just one comment. I'm going to make it quick. Eagles wrong. Right on schedule. He said, he literally said 3 minutes ago, that Wemby's 3-point doesn't need to be improved. You're shooting 37% from postseason from three. What do you want me to do with that, bro?
It's the postseason. It's the postseason. Is he Stephen Curry? I didn't know. My bad.
No, but you just said it doesn't need to be improved, and he's shooting 30.
That is pretty wild, actually.
That's bad.
That's bad. That's good. That's good.
No,
no. Listen, it's not amazing, but I'll tell you what. When it mattered, he made those threes to put the Spurs on top.
God. Okay, bro.
Context matters. Context matters.
By the way, you're being disingenuous. If you actually saw Game 7, De'Aaron Fox balled nuts. He did.
Okay, we didn't see the same game. It's okay.
And Wemby wasn't the reason.
Right, so before we go into a king dread over here, let's just end right here. So thank you everybody for tuning in. Let us know what you think. Do you think we're wrong over here? We think that he is the face of the NBA? Let us know down in the comments below. Other than that, keep your fandom alive and your ward drive engaged. Until next time, fellow nerds, this is Nerd Breaking News.